Hello and welcome back to Seniors Life Health. I'm Dr. Adam Carter. Let me ask you a question and I want you to be honest with me. How many of you are lacing up your sneakers, getting out the door, and putting in the miles every single day, yet when you step on the scale at the end of the week, that number hasn't budged? Or worse, it's crept up a pound or two. It is one of the most frustrating experiences for my patients over 60. You feel like you are doing everything right. You've been told your whole life that walking is the best medicine, and don't get me wrong, for cardiovascular health and mental clarity, it absolutely is. But when we talk specifically about weight loss, specifically about burning visceral fat and changing body composition after the age of 50, walking is not as simple as just putting one foot in front of the other. Here is the hard truth. The walking routine that kept you slim in your 30s and 40s often stops working when you cross the threshold of 50, and certainly by 60. Why? Because your biology has changed. Your hormones have shifted. Your muscle efficiency is different. If you are walking the same way you did 20 years ago, you are essentially running on an operating system that hasn't been updated. You might be making subtle, common mistakes that signal your body to store energy rather than burn it. Today we are going to fix that. I'm going to walk you through the 5 specific walking mistakes that act as a brake on your metabolism. We are going to cover pace, timing, intensity, posture, and duration. But more importantly, I'm going to give you the scientific tweaks you need to turn your daily walk from a casual stroll into a fat-burning machine. If you are ready to stop wasting time and start seeing results, you are in the right place. Let's get started. Before we dive into mistake number 1, we need to lay a very small foundation. We need to understand why weight loss becomes a battle of inches after 50. When we are younger, our bodies are somewhat forgiving. You could walk casually, miss a day here and there, and your natural metabolic rate would pick up the slack. But as we age, we deal with sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass. Muscle is your metabolic engine. Less muscle means you burn fewer calories at rest. Furthermore, we have hormonal changes. For women, the drop in estrogen post-menopause shifts fat storage to the belly. For men, lower testosterone reduces the ability to build lean tissue. This means that simply moving isn't enough anymore. We need to move with intent. We need to send a biochemical signal to the body that says it is time to access stored fat for fuel. Most seniors are walking in a way that improves their heart health, which is great, but doesn't actually trigger lipolysis, which is the breakdown of fats. We want to change that today. We want you to have both, a healthy heart and a healthy weight. So let's look at the first barrier standing in your way. Mistake number 1 is what I call the comfort zone pace. I see this all the time at the park. I see wonderful people out for their daily exercise, but they are walking at a pace that allows them to sing a song, look at the birds, and barely break a sweat. Now, I want to be clear. Any movement is better than no movement. If you are recovering from surgery or have severe mobility issues, a slow pace is perfectly fine. However, if your goal is weight loss, a stroll is not going to cut it. Here is the science. Your body has different energy systems. When you walk slowly, your body can easily supply the energy you need using the glucose floating around in your bloodstream. It's easy work. Your body doesn't need to dip into its savings account, your fat stores, because the checking account, your blood sugar, can cover the cost. To burn fat, you need to push your heart rate into what we call Zone 2. Zone 2 is a level of exertion where you are working, but not gasping. The best way to measure this without a fancy watch is the talk test. If you can sing a song while walking, you are going too slow. If you can't speak a single sentence without gasping for air, you are going too fast and adding stress. The sweet spot, the fat-burning zone, is where you can hold a conversation but you would rather not. You are breathing heavier. You feel a little warmth in your body. Many of you are walking at 2.0 or 2.5 miles per hour. To trigger weight loss after 50, we usually need to bump that up to 3.0 or 3.5 miles per hour. This slight increase demands more oxygen. When your body consumes more oxygen, it increases your metabolic output. If you finish your 30-minute walk and you don't feel like you've done work, you probably haven't stimulated the metabolic adaptation we are looking for. You haven't shocked the system enough to burn off that stubborn visceral fat. So here is your fix. Next time you go out, I want you to imagine you're 5 minutes late for an appointment. You know that hurried walk, the one where your stride lengthens slightly and your arms start to pump. That is your target pace. Let's move on to mistake number 2. This one surprises most of my patients because they think, Dr. Carter, a calorie burned is a calorie burned, right? It doesn't matter when I walk. Well, actually, after 50, your biological clock, your circadian rhythm, plays a massive role in how you process energy. Mistake number 2 is ignoring the timing of your walk. There are 2 specific timing errors I see. The first is missing the morning window, and the second is ignoring the post-meal window. Let's talk about the morning first. When you wake up, your body naturally has a rise in cortisol. This is the get up and go hormone. If you expose yourself to morning sunlight and get your body moving within an hour of waking up, you help set your circadian rhythm for the rest of the day. This regulates your sleep, and believe it or not, poor sleep is one of the biggest causes of weight gain in seniors. If you don't sleep well, you crave sugar and your body holds on to fat. But there is another timing trick, the postprandial walk. That's a fancy medical term for walking after eating. As we age, we become more insulin resistant. That means when you eat a sandwich or a bowl of oatmeal, your blood sugar spikes higher and stays high for longer than it did when you were 30. When insulin is high, fat burning is switched off. It is biologically impossible to burn fat when insulin is flooding your system. If you eat a big lunch and then sit on the couch to watch the news, that sugar sits in your blood, and eventually insulin stores it as fat, usually right around the midsection. The fix is simple but powerful. I want you to try insulin walking. Instead of one long walk once a day, try to save 10 or 15 minutes of your walking time for immediately after your biggest meal. When you walk right after eating, your muscles actively suck up that glucose from your bloodstream to use as fuel before it can be stored as fat. It flattens your blood sugar curve. For my diabetic and pre-diabetic patients, this is a game changer. But even for general weight loss, timing your walk to blunt that insulin spike is one of the most effective tools you have. Mistake number 3 is what I call the flatline. This happens when you walk at the exact same pace, for the exact same distance, on the exact same route, day after day, year after year. Our bodies are incredibly smart. They are designed to survive. If you walk 3 miles on a flat road every day within a few weeks, your body becomes efficient at it. It learns exactly how many calories it needs to perform that task, and it tries to use fewer calories to conserve energy. You become an economy car. You get great gas mileage. But for weight loss, we don't want to be an economy car. We want to be a gas-guzzling sports car. We want to waste energy. We want inefficiency because inefficiency means burning calories. If you never vary your intensity, your metabolism adapts and plateaus. You stop seeing results. This is why you can walk for a year and not lose a pound. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Carter, I can't do sprints. I have bad knees, or I'm not an athlete. I'm absolutely not asking you to sprint. High-intensity sprinting can raise cortisol too much in seniors, which can actually backfire. We want variable intensity, not necessarily high intensity. The solution is the lamp post game, or simple intervals. Here is how it works. Warm up for 5 minutes. Then pick a landmark ahead of you, a lamppost, a mailbox, or a park bench. Walk as fast as you possibly can to that landmark. Pump your arms, lengthen your stride. Get breathless. Once you reach it, slow down to your normal stroll. Catch your breath. Recover. Then, pick the next landmark and speed up again. By fluctuating your heart rate, up and down, you create a metabolic disturbance. You force your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, to work harder. This creates an afterburn effect, medically known as EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. This means you continue burning calories for hours after you take your sneakers off. You cannot get that afterburn from a steady, flatline walk. You have to mix it up. Now, this next mistake is sneaky. You might not even realize you are doing it, but it drastically reduces the calorie burn of your walk. Mistake number 4 is poor posture, or the senior slump. As we age, gravity takes its toll. We spend time looking at phones, reading, or perhaps we have a bit of kyphosis, rounding of the upper back. When we go for a walk, we tend to look down at our feet to ensure we don't trip. While safety is important, walking with your head down and shoulders rounded restricts your physiology in two major ways. First, biomechanics. When you are hunched over, you cannot engage your core muscles. Your abdominal muscles are your body's natural corset. If they aren't working, you aren't burning energy in your midsection, and you are putting incredible strain on your lower back and hips. This leads to pain, and pain leads to stopping your routine. Second, and arguably more important for fat loss, oxygen. Fat requires oxygen to burn, literally. The chemical process of oxidizing fat cannot happen without a surplus of oxygen. If your shoulders are rounded and your chest is collapsed, you are compressing your lungs. You are taking shallow upper chest breaths. You are starving your body of the very fuel it needs to ignite the fat-burning process. Furthermore, many people hold their arms stiff by their sides, or worse, keep their hands in their pockets. If your arms aren't moving, you are leaving 20% of your calorie burn on the table. Walking is a full-body exercise, but only if you make it one. Let's correct this right now. Stand up if you can. I want you to imagine there is a string attached to the very crown of your head, pulling you up toward the sky. Feel that space opening up between your vertebrae? Now roll your shoulders up to your ears and drop them down into your back pockets. Open that chest. When you walk, your eyes should be on the horizon, not your toes. Scan the ground with your eyes, but keep your head up. And let those arms swing. Your arm swing drives your leg stride. A vigorous arm swing engages the lats, the shoulders, and the obliques. It turns a lower body activity into a total body rhythm. We have arrived at mistake number 5, and this one is all about the numbers. This is the sugar burn trap, caused by inadequate duration. I often hear people say, I walk for 15 minutes every day. And again, for joint mobility, that is fantastic. But for fat loss, it's likely not enough. Here is why. When you start moving, your body burns its primary, easiest fuel source first. That is the glycogen, sugar, stored in your muscles and liver. It's like the cash in your wallet. It's easy to get to. It takes time for the body to realize, oh, we are going for a long haul here, I need to switch fuel sources. It takes roughly 20 to 25 minutes of continuous, moderate activity for the body to significantly shift from burning sugar to burning fat. If your walks are consistently only 15 or 20 minutes long, you are stopping right at the moment the magic is about to happen. You burn off the sugar from breakfast, and then you stop before tapping into the fat stores on your hips or belly. You are doing all the work but missing the payout. Now, I know endurance decreases as we get older. I'm not asking you to walk for 2 hours, but we need to find a way to extend that duration past the 30-minute mark, and ideally toward 45 minutes to an hour, if weight loss is the primary goal. If 45 minutes sounds daunting or your joints can't handle it all at once, we can hack this. Remember the insulin walking I mentioned? If you do 3 15-minute walks a day after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you are getting 45 minutes of total volume. While a single continuous walk is best for deep fat oxidation, 3 brisk walks are superior for blood sugar control, which ultimately prevents fat storage. But if you can, try to schedule 1 long walk per week. Aim for 60 minutes. Keep the pace moderate. This long, slow duration teaches your body to become fat-adapted, meaning it gets better at choosing fat as a fuel source efficiently. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a secret weapon. If you are struggling with balance, or if you want to increase your calorie burn by up to 40% without walking any faster, I want you to look into Nordic walking. This involves using walking poles, similar to ski poles. By actively pushing into the ground with the poles, you engage your triceps, pectorals, and upper back muscles. You are essentially doing a push-up with every step. Because you are using more muscle groups, your heart rate goes up, and your calorie burn skyrockets, but, and this is the best part, the perceived exertion stays low. You don't feel like you are working harder because the poles take the weight off your knees and hips. It is one of the absolute best exercises for anyone over 60. If you haven't tried it, get a pair of poles and give it a go. So let's put this all together into a plan you can start tomorrow. We don't want you making these mistakes anymore. We want you to become efficient, fat-burning machines. Here is your new protocol. 1. Check your pace. Stop strolling. Walk with a purpose. If you can sing, speed up until you can only speak in short sentences. 2. Watch your timing. Try to walk in the morning for circadian health, or immediately after meals to control insulin. 3. Vary the intensity. Don't flatline. Use the lamp post method to add intervals of higher effort. 4. Fix your posture. Head up, shoulders back, engage your core, and swing those arms to maximize oxygen intake. 5. Monitor duration. Aim to get past that 25-minute mark so you can switch from burning sugar to burning fat. Walking is the most natural, beautiful movement our bodies can do. It preserves our independence, clears our minds, and strengthens our hearts. But with these small scientific adjustments, it can also be the tool that helps you shed that extra weight and feel lighter, stronger, and more energetic than you have in years. Don't let age be an excuse. Your body is capable of incredible adaptation, no matter your birthday. You just have to give it the right signals. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor. Click that like button. It helps YouTube show this video to other seniors who need this information. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Seniors Life Health and hit the notification bell so you never miss a tip from me. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 5 mistakes have you been making? Are you a stroller or a flatliner? Let me know down below. I'm Dr. Adam Carter. Keep moving, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next video.